The sky fell. On broad daylight,
just when it was about to take off.
the sky fell.
Air India flight from Ahmedabad to London was carrying 242 people, 230 passengers and 12 crew members. All lost their lives except one survived.
In the hospital in Ahmedabad, the lone survivor who walked away from Thursday's Air India disaster tells Indian TV he has no idea why he's the only one of 242 who got out alive.
Emergency door is broken. My seat is broken. I'm not jumping. I just walk out in it. I can't explain. It's medical, everything.
You know, it's JEJE Vibe.
It's JEJE Vibe.
Can you feel the vibe?
It's a vibe.
You know, it's JEJE Vibe. If you're new to the channel, don't hesitate. You're in the right place. Don't fear. Just hit the like and subscribe. Where else would you rather be? You know I got my amazing queen with me.
Thanks, my love.
The sky fell.
There are still a lot of questions after a plane plummeted to the ground shortly after takeoff in India, leaving hundreds dead. Still unclear at this point how many people on the ground perhaps could have been killed after the Air India flight bound for London crashed Thursday. More than 240 people on board the flight were killed. The Boeing 787 Dreamliner went down in a residential area, marking the first crash ever of that type of plane.
On broad daylight,
just when it was about to take off.
the sky fell.
12th of June, 2025. The plane had taken off at 1:38 in the afternoon from Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel International Airport at Ahmedabad. It ran through the runway perfectly, then took off as usual. But what everyone saw next was a nightmare. The plane only climbed a few hundred feet, just a little higher than a tall building, and then it simply began to fall. Turned out it only went up to 625 feet, which is extremely low for a plane that's supposed to rise thousands of feet into the sky within minutes.
Then, without warning, it began to lose altitude rapidly. Within a few minutes, around 1:42 p.m. It is here the flight crew made a distress call, declaring a mayday to air traffic control. This urgent signal indicated a critical emergency. Tragically, it was the last communication ever received from the aircraft. In the 2 minutes that followed, radar and DSB tracking data showed that the aircraft had vanished from monitoring systems, indicating a sudden and uncontrollable descent. At around 1:44 p.m., the aircraft crashed into Meghani Nagar, a densely populated neighborhood just outside the airport perimeter. The plane struck a hostel building on the campus of JEJE Medical College, where students were inside. The impact caused a massive explosion, followed by thick plumes of black smoke rising above the crash site.
People on the ground heard a strange, deafening sound of a low-flying aircraft. And then came the explosion. A huge fireball rose into the sky, and one part of the city became a scene of lethal destruction. The tail of the plane was all that remained standing, charred, black, and barely holding on. Painted on it, still visible through the smoke, were the letters VTANB. That was how investigators confirmed that it was Air India Flight 171.
It took off and dropped.
Only one survivor.
Miraculously.
Walked out.
Miraculously.
This is the lone survivor of the crash walking away from the scene. Reuters is reporting that he jumped from the plane's emergency exit. He was reportedly traveling with his brother, who unfortunately at this point still has not been found.
Because if you see the whole impact when this whole thing dropped, like, whoop.
An Air India Boeing 787 Dreamliner, bound for London, crashed just seconds after takeoff.
What the hell is going on? Boom. A big, and this happened in also residential area.
Yeah, it did.
The aircraft slammed into accommodation for medical students at JEJE Medical College, resulting in the loss of all but one of the 242 people on board and at least 19 on the ground.
So, a lot of people did not make it.
No.
A lot of people
Only one survivor.
Only one survivor.
I don't know how everything happened in front of my eyes. I don't know how I survived.
जिंदा बाहर निकला 1 मिनट के अंदर ही
After the takeoff, within a minute, it felt like the plane came to a standstill for 5 to 10 seconds. The green and white cabin lights turned on in the
हो
flight.
गई ग्रीन और वाइट बाद में वो पता नहीं
I could feel engine thrust increasing to go up, but it crashed with speed into the building. I don't know about the other part of the plane, but where I landed was on the ground. I could see that there was space outside the aircraft. So when my door broke, I tried to escape through a little space, and I did. I don't know how I managed to escape. It was in front of my eyes that the air hostess and others died.
The guy was just walking out like it was a movie.
Mm-hmm.
But this is real.
Yep.
Interestingly, a man seated in 11A near an emergency exit reportedly pushed the damaged emergency door after the crash.
Some people were equating it to numerology, saying that his seat number was 11. And then the bed in the hospital is also 11 bed 11
God.
number.
Coincidence.
that was probably what saved him.
Well, sometimes there's a glitch in the matrix.
Mm-hmm.
The glitch, it should be acting like weird sometimes.
It's glitching.
It does glitch. Just like you have a bad day, the matrix do have a bad day, and sometimes it's glitch. Because it's crazy how the sky fell and only one survivor.
Mm-hmm. And then the survivor happens to be sitting on seat 11. And also, when he got to the hospital, they gave him the 11th bed.
Wow.
emergency door is broken. Yeah. My seat is broken. Yeah. I'm not jumping. Okay. I just walk out in it. Okay. I can't explain. It's miracle everything.
Vishwash Kumar Ramesh said he was in window seat 11A, right next to the broken exit door, yet managed to climb through. But everyone else died, including a British radiologist and his family who took this selfie.
Speedy recovery to him. Man, but so many people did not make it. So condolences to them from JEJE VIBE.
Mm-hmm.
Shimon. It's a very terrible way to go.
The NTSB and FAA are now joining in the investigation as Boeing faces fresh scrutiny following several high-profile incidents in recent years.
We are going to do a fair and thorough investigation. We are not going to spare anyone. We are not going to leave any stone unturned.
The fact that it was still down suggests that the crew may have had their hands full with some sort of a problem that impacted their ability to fly that airplane moments after takeoff.
The 787-8 Dreamliner is used by more than a dozen airlines, and experts emphasize its safety record since it started flying in 2011.
A DVR with recordings from onboard cameras which may have captured the pilot's actions on the flight deck and the plane's black box, the cockpit voice and flight data recorders. Indian authorities have ordered Air India to inspect all of its 787s with GE engines, standard after most aviation incidents. We mentioned the video DVR system that investigators have recovered. Boeing offers a camera system inside the 787. It's in the cockpit, in the galley, it's in the cabin, which may let investigators see the flight control settings in the cockpit and whether a pilot might have made a mistake.
So the sky fell in India, taking off to London. The sky dropped on the ground. What you guys think about the sky fall? Let us know what you guys think about one survivor. Is it a miracle? Is it a glitch in the matrix? Drop a comment and let us know. See you guys in the next one.
Bye-bye now.
JEJE VIBE, JEJE VIBE, JEJE VIBE.
JEJE VIBE.
You know it's JEJE VIBE. Feel the vibe, you know the vibe.
The passenger, Vishwas, was seated in 11A, a seat located in the first row of the economy cabin, close to an emergency exit on the Boeing 787 Dreamliner. As the aircraft began to lose altitude rapidly and headed toward a residential area, it was initially unclear whether it had struck a building. However, according to reports, Vishwas reportedly managed to push open the damaged emergency door and walk out of the wreckage. Contrary to earlier reports suggesting he had jumped, he actually walked away from the crash site. This was possible because the plane had only climbed to about 625 feet before losing control, meaning it was flying at a relatively low altitude. Such an escape may have been physically possible under these circumstances, though it remains incredibly dangerous and nearly unimaginable. Coming back to the survivor, he reported hearing a loud bang shortly after takeoff. This sound might have been an engine failure. What's puzzling is that no smoke was visible in any of the video footage taken at the time. That absence of visible smoke raises the possibility that both engines may have lost thrust simultaneously. Such a scenario could result from a mechanical failure within the engines or a problem with the aircraft's fuel system. Either way, losing thrust from both engines right after takeoff would make it extremely difficult, if not impossible, for the aircraft to gain altitude or maintain controlled flight. There's also speculation about a potential mechanical failure involving the aircraft's control surfaces, specifically the flaps, which play a crucial role in generating lift during takeoff. Any malfunction here could have resulted in an immediate and dangerous drop in altitude. On the Boeing 787 Dreamliner, including those operated by Air India, standard procedure during takeoff involves extending the flaps to a specific setting, typically flaps 5 or higher. The exact setting depends on the aircraft's weight, the runway length, and other performance-related factors. Once the aircraft has safely accelerated and gained altitude, the flaps are gradually retracted. This process is essential for transitioning the aircraft into climb mode. However, in the case of the Air India crash in Ahmedabad, it appears the flaps were either fully retracted or not extended at all during takeoff, an abnormal and highly dangerous condition. Taking off with flaps retracted or retracting them too soon drastically reduces lift at low speeds and altitudes. This compromises the aircraft's ability to climb and significantly increases the risk of a stall or complete loss of control.